So I expect to see Architect or Wraparound on the remote if he draws it.
Yeah.
And then once Moon gets behind that, it's so hard for Mike here.
Right. But you have to assume that Mike's played against this deck quite a lot of times by this point, and he's undefeated in the cut. So he must have some kind of plan that's been working. But Laurie's one of the really strong Moon players.
Yeah. I fancy Laurie in this side. Obviously, anything can happen. We'll see how the draws go, but I think...
Do we know if the players kept or mulled? It looked like they kept.
I think they both kept, didn't they?
Okay. So that...
Looks like Eater in Mike's hand there, at the back.
Okay, yeah. Kind of a classic.
And Dash.
And Dash, okay. So probably Keyhole is going to be involved. So we've got a new remote. We've got... he must have drawn. He must have drawn Ice, new remote. He's got his ETF back up to 6. So Mike is thinking... Yeah, it'd be interesting to know what that asset is. That's going to be really important. It wouldn't be a Moon, right? Or a tech startup. He wouldn't just put that out there.
If he's got 2,
yes.
maybe you go for it.
That's true. It could be a Turtlebacks. Daily business.
That's fine.
Yeah, so he's going to trash it. That's fine. You cost them a click. You cost them a credit.
He didn't pay credit. Yeah.
Okay, well, luckily.
Laurie's on the case.
Yeah, luckily. The credit for Laurie is pretty important there. He's not just going to throw cards around. And then we click for a credit, play a Hacktivist.
So, me and Alex have played this sort of game. We've both found Hacktivist to be less than... A lot of people seem to think it's the key tech against Moon. And I think we found in testing... It's much weaker than people think.
Yeah.
Because you just res the Moon and take the card here and don't res anything else.
Yeah.
But you're still getting a card and a draw for them. And ETF credits a lot of the time.
Yes.
Which is easily enough for an install. And then as soon as the window's down, you can res everything.
Yeah.
So as soon as you buy out one card or ELP, it's all gone.
Exactly. It's good against tech startup. That is like the fact that you discard to the tech startup and then discard for the thing you res with it. That's really powerful. But everything else, you don't need to res hundreds of things for this deck to work. You res one thing, and that thing is a stalemate.
Yeah, so I think Hacktivist would have been really good against like the NEH type aspect where they want every pad rolling, they want every DBS rolling, and that's their whole game plan. Whereas this deck revolves so much more around one card that you need.
Yeah, so you often just use Hacktivist to clear ELP, but Mike obviously decides that's not what he wants to do. I think we see some recursion in his hand. So, okay, so he's just going to go for Keyhole by the looks of things.
Is he going to 0 credits?
Yes.
Okay, this is bold, right?
This is bold. He's playing Mad
He's got Dash. I think he's got Dash in his hand. So 2 agendas Dash.
Yeah?
I mean, obviously...
You go for it.
He can't get 3 because he's installed.
No, you can't just win. And that card could be a Jackson Howard.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It's not that likely that Laurie would just install a Jackson, though, because it would just get trashed for not much value. So it seems unlikely, unless Laurie's just trying to waste clicks and credits. Yeah. So that's what those whiz-bucks are for. You just get rid of it.
I think he's got Dash because he's trying to make it as a Jackson.
Yeah. So Keyhole, do a Keyhole run, and dash out.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it forces Laurie to respond with Ice, or he's going to lose the game next turn.
Yeah. If Laurie has Ice, he's actually looking in a pretty good place. Because Mike just has no tempo. His only board is a Keyhole. But if Laurie doesn't have any Ice,
this could just be Euros over.
He could just, we could just see Eurozone right now. So Laurie's draw. So that suggests he does not have Ice.
Or not the Ice he wants.
Maybe, yeah.
Like Architect's a bit weird here, right? Because you still get the Keyhole. So unless you find Jackson with Architect.
Yeah. Yeah, so Laurie kind of maybe over-iced for Siphon here and has put himself in a position where Keyhole can blow the game wide open. And that's kind of the double threat of these.
Yeah, it's why you play Keyhole, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I suppose he just saw that he had Dash in hand, saw his chance.
Yeah. Yeah, you take your dashes as soon as you can get them. Right.
We've got some Irish liberation chat.
Yeah, careful, guys. It'd be pretty sweet if a Irish player won Euros, actually.
I think that's true. I'm also emotionally not prepared for Laurie to lose this.
Yeah.
So Laurie is the nicest person I know, and he's the most committed netrunner I know.
Yeah.
And I know some really nice people and some really committed netrunners. So,
okay. So
this is a complete catastrophe.
Yes.
This could just be game over.
I mean, Laurie might have a lot of agendas in his hand, in which case this is not quite as bad as
the only play that's genius here is if he's got the Ice in hand and he goes AAL now.
Okay, so we're seeing a check. So, I mean, this is what Laurie's done with his draw, right? He's wasting his opponent's time. Okay, so that's probably not...
Not an agenda.
Yeah, he thought for a bit. If they think for a bit, it's either 2 agendas or no agendas, right?
But if it's the LP, that's pretty bad too.
Pretty bad.
LP, yeah.
If Laurie just keeps drawing ice, he can maybe win this game. But, so we've got 2 clicks left, so he can't win this turn. No matter what. Just keyholes again.
Well, the thing is though, next turn he siphons. Laurie has to res. Hopefully it's Fairchild, so he has to click it.
Right.
If it's Eli, he can just go... Because he's only got 5 credits, right? So he has to dodge the siphon, otherwise he can't res the ice. If he can't keep him out... Yeah, if he just bounces, he can then keyhole 2 times and win.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so yeah, we saw an Estelle Moon Trash there. It's hard to see because of the glare, but... Oh no, it was an ELP.
Yeah, it's ELP.
It's hard to see because of the glare, but it was an ELP. So he's thinking a long time again, which suggests it's not super obvious. Yeah, Fairchild. So that's actually a good one to trash. A lot of the time, ice is just the best thing to trash with keyhole. But the only awkward thing about that is it turns on friends in high places.
Yeah, makes friends really strong.
So maybe Laurie isn't supposed to play friends, but then maybe Mike doesn't trash the ice if Laurie isn't playing a friend. So hard to know really. Shuffling again. This is the most fun part of keyhole, is we have to fill time while they shuffle cards. And yeah, just keep hitting that I win button.
So that's for Vitruvius.
Yeah.
So this is doubly annoying for Laurie because he's getting hacked. He wants to clear the hack at some point, so he wants Vitruvius. You know, Vitruvius is probably the best agenda for him to draw.
Yeah, that's a good point. But this is pretty good because he can get J. Howe. He can get Jackson Howard. He's got a whole turn to use it. He can click up to draw, look for cards, and he can use the shuffle in. So getting that tech startup through is pretty good. Unless he's going to get something else, which would be pretty funny. No.
Yeah.
So there we are, Jackson Howard. Tech startup is such a powerful card.
Yeah, and it was friends back, right? So
yeah, so
feels like I mean I didn't spot it, but the clearly correct play was to kill that, right? Because it's the same as the Jackson.
Kill both? Yes.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, so he does have to spend a bunch of clicks to run everything, which is that Laurie found his line, which is if you don't have ice, try and make them waste their time doing a whole bunch of other nonsense.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
I mean, just the one thing that Keyhole's bought him, I mean, he has no money, so he's still not in a great place, but his next ice obviously has to go on R&D, so he still turns away from the Ice Moon, which is how he's going to win this.
Yeah. But if Laurie stabilizes, draws a bunch of ice, I think he can construct quite a good plan here. The only hard part is the Hacktivist.
So maybe we were right. Maybe Hacktivist is pretty good with the Siphon plan. It's just not so great in the Reg plan.
Yeah, that might be true, actually. It disrupts them in a more meaningful way. So we lose another card. Mike is good at using Hacktivist, so he doesn't flip the card over and risk a game loss. And Laurie's now going to use Jackson.
Okay, so this is a big swing, right? So now Laurie's got money, Mike has none, he's got 2 ice on HQ and 1 on R&D, and he's got Jackson on the table.
Yeah.
So...
And he can shuffle in like Friends, the Vitruvius, and the ELP probably.
Yeah.
And his deck's looking pretty live.
1 more ice and a Moon.
Yeah, like he just wants to draw ice, because if he can ice some remotes, he can start to do some really good stuff here. I think Laurie's played this really well, actually. He's played quite conservatively. He hasn't... You know, he didn't draw, discard a bunch of cards, do nothing. He's found his out, yeah. So this forces the run, and Laurie's just been able to force Mike to spend his clicks doing not a whole lot.
Yeah. So, I mean, you say, like, maybe Mike was slightly unlucky in that if he'd got 1 more... If the one that hit an ELP or the ice hit an agenda, he'd definitely have run it and gone to 5. And then you can just win off crazy... You know, like, if it's an Eli on R&D, you just click it every turn.
Yeah.
And eventually you just win.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas only being on 3, he has to down build the board state.
Yeah.
And he's got no cash.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, Mike's... I think that's the first time he's drawn a card this game.
Yeah, we saw this in Trish and Theo's game. The Wizard player gets really click-taxed out. And just forgets to draw. Not forget, but just doesn't ever have quite time to draw, and then finds himself lacking whatever key card they need.
Yeah, exactly. So now Laurie actually gets some breathing room to advance his own game plan instead of reacting to his opponents, which is what this ETF deck is all about. People debating the merits of Room Mill in the chat.
Yeah, so I have views on this.
So do I.
I think that Ruin Mill is better even at 3 influence.
If Laurie had Room Mill this game, he would not have been able to Jackson
Yeah.
Howard that Vitruvius back into the deck. So ELP comes down, that's the Hacktivist gone. Now Click Tax gets really, really tough. I mean, obviously it doesn't stop Keyhole or Siphon, which is one of the strengths of those cards, but just day jobs here. Laurie's got to be pretty chuffed at that. The day job, I mean, I guess he's going to spend those credits on getting an Eater and then breaking ice, because right now he doesn't have anything to do with those credits.
Yeah, I mean, so you need the credit. Like,
Yeah,
you're going to need Eater. Once you've got Eater, Siphon is a live threat again, because you
Yeah.
can probably click one of those ice. And Laurie hasn't got very many credits at all.
No.
So the Siphon is a horrendous problem, because the Siphon is going to turn back on the Keyhole.
Right. Yeah. Laurie would kill for just some free ice here, like a vanilla.
He needs to get to 6 every turn, because every ice but Fairchild isn't so bad.
Yeah.
And he'll know that. He'll know it.
Yeah, exactly. There's a Turtleback's res. It's going to install. Oh, friends. That's what you need. Does he have an advanced assembly line? That's the
Yeah,
question.
that's what you need, right? Because
I don't think we've seen one this game, but we have seen Hacktivist. So was that a face down?
it's a tech start he's looking at now.
Yeah, but I think that first one that went in was a face down.
Okay, so maybe he was forced to like hack one away or something.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because advanced assembly line is also pretty awkward against Hacktivist, right? So you would probably not play it. So is Laurie going to remember his turtlebacks? Shouldn't it send him back up to 5?
He's doing it. He's flip planning.
Yeah, so it wasn't
Yeah.
AAL. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Laurie could, during his turn, pop AAL, install a card which would get him 2 credits, 1 turtleback, 1 HP, and then he's looking pretty good. If he doesn't have anything to install, it's a bit more awkward. Yeah, so Mike's drawing cards. Again, giving Laurie another DBS fire. Ito's down.
What is it, 6 credits?
Ito's 4.
No, sorry, he's got 6 credits left.
Oh.
So he day jobbed up to 10, right? So
Yes. So he should have 6 left. That's not that many to break the HBS and Siphon. So he draws, he Eaters, and he Siphons. He's got 1 click left after this.
yeah, so Laurie should be able to get down to 0.
Yes.
The problem is he's going to eat 1 more keyhole run. Oh, it's
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I mean, that's why wraparound ended up in the deck, right? Was for situations like this. No paperclip in the bin. So,
I think he probably still runs keyhole here because he's got 3.
yeah.
So it's probably an Eli, but you might get through if it's an architect.
Yeah.
And if it's Eli, it's fine. You've slowed him down again.
But he's only got 1 click, right? So if he keyholes, that tech startup fires.
Oof.
And then...
He can't run it. It's ERP.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, so that tech startup is firing. Now, if he hits an agenda here, Laurie might need to react by getting a Jackson or something. If not, he just probably gets a Moon and starts doing Moonco's things. Okay,
It is FAT, so...
successful field test. I mean, Laurie could give up 1 agenda, but
I just feel like being on 5 is so risky for him. Like, it's really hard to stop Wizard getting some random access at some point in the game.
yeah, that's
Like,
the hard
he's going to
part.
find paperclip, maybe, or something. And
Yeah. Yeah, so what does Laurie want to get here?
It is Moon. He's gone the... I mean, I think this is the potentially correct but aggressive play.
Yes. I mean, if he has Archives Ice, for example, he could Ice Archives. That might be a play. He might already have a Jackson. He might be willing to give it up. He could try and use a Lakshmi to buy himself a few more turns if he's got that.
He got it, yeah.
So it depends what is in his hand, really. If he's got nothing in his hand to stop this field test being stolen, then this whole game is going to be played on a knife edge. So DBS fires again. DBS is really, really good in this matchup because, I mean, in this deck, because Friends is so good for you. He's looking at his cards.
So I think sneaking a CSM would be huge here.
Yes.
And I think he probably can as well. So that'd be a cool card to draw.
So he puts down 1 card. How many's he got to put down? I've got, yeah, because of the Moon, what Laurie might decide to do is get Moon counters on the start of Mike's... so he's just got the Jackson. Okay. So now he's looking pretty good. Because what he could have done is tried to make a bunch of Moon counters and then on his opponent's turn, drawn with Moon, Daily Business Show, and then advanced assembly lines of Jackson in. That would also be a potential out. As is, he just has the Jackson.
Okay, so one thing we know is the spicy tech. So he's got Apocalypse in his deck,
Yes.
we believe. So if he finds Paperclip and he's holding Laundry, he needs the Laundry to do it, right? Because
Yeah.
otherwise he can't run.
Yeah, well, he needs two run events, of which one.
Keyhole. Oh yeah, and then also another Siphon, but that's horrible. Like.
Yeah, ELP is actually just excellent Apocalypse protection. It does a bunch of other stuff, but okay. So advanced assembly lines is used. He ices the moon. That's interesting. I mean, obviously, usually ice moon. I wonder if all your ice is kind of precious in this matchup and should be going on centrals.
I don't know if he knows he has Apocalypse.
Yeah. Okay.
I think if he did, he'd put it on Archives, right?
Yeah.
And a Rezzed Architect is just horrendous against the Apocalypse deck.
Yes, exactly. Because you can just after the Apocalypse, you're still pretty well set up. Yeah, Laurie's really starting to gain a foothold now.
Yeah.
I think Mike still has outs here. I think he should be, if he can clear the current or draw a bunch of dirty laundries and clear the wall without losing too many clicks, I think this starts to get okay for him.
So he's running Jackson, and fair enough, there's an agenda in the bin. It's possible Laurie lets him have it and tries to friend out the... But no.
No, I think that's safe. There's two friends in there,
Yeah.
so you're pretty happy using this Jackson to do this. Yeah.
So only one more Jackson left in the whole deck, though.
Yeah.
So Keyhole's a real threat.
So there is still, that might well be Mike's best line to victory, and it could work out for him, which is make a bunch of money. That's like the Hoyland strat.
Yeah.
So you make a bunch of money, and then you just keyhole a bunch and try and win right at the end. You like hold a dirty laundry, you go keyhole, 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 dirty laundry archives. And again, unless Laurie has the agendas in his hand and a Lakshmi, that could well be what wins the game. So, do you think Mike maybe got a bit too aggressive by bankrupting himself for a keyhole and an open R&D?
It's really hard because imagine if it had worked, and there was a turn when it could have done, right? There's a turn where if he sees agendas twice, he just wins the game. We'd be sitting here thinking, yeah, like he was against a deck that he was behind against. He took the bold move and it worked.
Yeah.
And he's the European champion.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a very aggressive move to go to 0, even with Day Job in hand. So, I don't know, you've got Day Job and Mad Dash, so you know you can probably score twice, and you know you can come back to 10 quite easily.
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
Okay, so he friends with Turtlebacks is so powerful. Once that card starts paying for itself, something pretty nuts is happening, and Fairchild's nice. So it goes down to 4 credits, which is not a big deal because that
8
Estelle
on
has,
So this is the point at which, if he had Room Mill, it would completely wreck Laurie's board.
Yeah, because
He plays it and runs the Estelle.
yeah, that's one of the things that one of the reasons Room Mill is so good is because they go quite poor, but they rely on being able to pop Estelle to res ice.
Yeah.
Then you Room Mill and they can't res anything. So yeah, what's his line now? He's drawing some cards. He probably wants some breakers to try and play this game properly.
Wrap is a complete catastrophe for him.
Yes, it is. Yeah, Rap's really doing work, but it was a great include in the
So that's Architect?
Yes, it is.
So res, so it's never going away.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It costs 3 credits. You've got to pump, break, break. Advanced assembly lines resed here. Interesting. Not sure what Laurie's trying to do here. You cannot use advanced assembly lines during a run.
You can get credits during a run.
You can get credits during a run. Yes, of course. Oh, I see. So he was bankrupting himself with the Architect before. He wants to res the AAL and then res the Architect, because if he goes down to 0, he can't res. Okay, there's an agenda. So if Laurie doesn't have a Jackson or a Lakshmi on the board, it's possible we could see a Keyhole and then an Archives run.
Yeah, if he's got Laundry for the Archives run, remember he needs another click.
Oh, no, yeah, it wouldn't work, because he'd have to bankrupt himself to make another Keyhole run and then...
Dash.
Oh, Dash, yeah. Yeah, Dash would be...
Do you play 2 Dash?
You want to see one, so 2 Dash isn't crazy. Fairchild goes in the bin.
He's gone to 0 again, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so easy to bankrupt yourself when you're paying through all this HP ice. And was that his turn? No, he has a click left, but he can't make a run unless it's a run event.
Dash here is kind of pointless because you still didn't get to 6. I don't know, like leaving it in there seems fine. Like there's 1 Jackson in the whole game now. Unless you go to Friends and Lakshmi or something to protect it. But
Yeah.
I don't know, Friends behind ice. Can't.
Yes, exactly. Yes, there's some talk in chat going on about the keyhole thing, in which Laurie didn't shuffle after a keyhole because he was going to res a tech startup, which apparently technically is a rules infraction. I mean, we're not going to talk about that, right? We have nothing meaningful to say about that. If that is an issue, it's far too late.
So, sorry, I don't understand. So you shuffle, put it back down.
Yeah.
Use the tech starter to find something randomly distributed in the deck, and then shuffle again.
So the problem is, when you tech startup, you get to look at the top 2 cards that they saw with keyholes. So you gain a little bit of information, which technically is against the rules. So yes, that is, But, so, chat thinks that's important. I want to mention it, but I don't want to have a debate about rulings on the stream right now. So we have a moon being popped, lots of cards to Laurie's hand. Now, hopefully Laurie's going to be able to score an agenda out here. Obviously, field test would be the one that you really want.
Yeah, what's his credit total? He's on to like 14, I think.
Yeah.
So he's got a turtleback, so a reasonable field test is huge. I don't know if we've seen Jeeves, so it takes double biotic. I think he's obviously very worried about having another agenda in archives. He's maybe just popping to find another ice and put it on R&D and discard.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, field test with us on R&D is huge if he can somehow. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, pops it, protects archives. Yeah, that could be huge actually, especially with an ELP. If that's a Fairchild and it's gone on archives with an ELP, he just can't get through unless he has a Black Orchestra or a run event. Res is a DBS. He's going to set up his draws. So Laurie just needs to make sure he doesn't put the game away before some dumb stuff happens and just cheeses him out. But he's got a ton of board control. Mike has no way of generating resources. His whole board is a keyhole.
Siphon is totally turned off.
Yeah.
I mean, ludicrously turned off now, with the Fairchild as well. So. Yeah, I think Laurie's very favoured.
Yeah. So this is a DBS that he's doing. Well, it's a mandatory draw, but it's a DBS with 3 cards. So he's just going to draw perfectly for the rest of the game, pretty much.
Yeah, I see another ELP in his hand.
Yeah.
So if another current comes out, he's fine. He's got another moon.
Yeah. This is what this deck does. It just starts... It makes this self-sustaining kind of engine, right? So we've got that. Is that an ice there? It's hard to tell on the mat. No, it's not an ice.
Yeah, it's moon counter, so...
Yeah. Yeah, the test of this game is just, can Laurie safely close it without doing something... without making a silly mistake, and can Mike find some weird line that...
So I think the thing is, like, he does have tutors for the 3rd Jackson. He can still get into R&D. Yeah, I don't know how the keyhole works now.
Yeah, you have to click for credits too much. That's the thing about Siphon decks. You have to play kind of sustainable econ and then some Siphons to get really rich, so...
Oh.
Yep. So yeah, the ice is just getting slapped down on centrals.
There's a game in one of the finals.
Yeah. But this is over. This isn't over. I think this game is feeling more over all the time.
Yeah, I think it's probably fair to about call this now. But Laurie still needs to get all his agendas scored. He has to make sure that something stupid happens, like he doesn't deck himself.
I mean, Mike had I'm not someone who does maths, but with a dash, like the chance of him winning off those keyhole runs is probably reasonably high.
Yeah, pretty okay. I mean, he probably has played this matchup to know that that's what he wants to do. And maybe that's where a lot of his game wins came from, is just winning early before it got out of control. And then, of course, if Laurie does take this, we have to see another game. So
yeah. Which is going to be a tough one for him.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
We'll see. But we can't call Euros yet either way. So, yeah, he's drawing. I mean...
I'd say an interesting feature of this matchup is so we know that the wraparound is the second ice. So it's true that a first click Siphon would have worked. Like, how often should you just try that? Because most of their ice is clickable, and if you money up first turn, should you just Siphon them? Yeah,
I played against Triss in the Swiss 2 days ago, and he just clicked one Siphon me because, as he pointed out, if that goes well for you, you can just win the game. You risk Architect, but sometimes that doesn't matter. So yeah, maybe that is the play. More moon counters.
There's a really high chance it's Eli, and
yeah, that's a complete blowout if it's an Eli. You have a click to go run and trash something. They're probably bankrupt.
Well, yeah, and you've probably gained 6.
Yeah, exactly. Laurie's just messing around, installing cards. This is one of those situations where the right play for Laurie is probably to make this game take way longer. Like, there's no need to race.
Yeah.
You just go slowly but surely. Don't fill your hand with agendas.
And I mean, Laurie is a very patient player. I don't see him getting reckless here.
Yeah, he's happy to take twice as long to play the game if it gives him a 5% increased chance of winning.
I think there's a reasonable chance he's going for an SFT score here.
Yeah, that's a good reason to res the Jeeves.
Resing Jeeve, popping Moon with only 4 counters.
Yeah.
SFT is probably just game. Like, it's going to be more ice that he can afford to res because of the extra income.
He's not got much ice left in his deck, right? But
it's all going to be on centrals.
3 pieces of ice left.
The Apocalypse is a ludicrous.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not even talk about it. It's the bot. It's the SFT, I think.
Yeah. He could be getting a Vitruvius counter, but chances are he's getting an SFT. So points of the Jeeves. Yeah, you probably should show us the agenda, Laurie. There it is. Successful field test. Kind of a sleeper card from Terminal Directive.
I didn't see its power.
Yeah. I mean, some people dispute it. Some people prefer accelerated base test in this deck, but I'm sure that argument will get solved one day. So Laurie has to think about which cards to install.
And it's kind of a shame for him that he needed Did he need the Moon money to score that? Because otherwise he could have left that Moon on the table.
Yes.
He looks like he's got. Is it 2 or 10?
10. He's got 10.
So he didn't need it. So
No. Maybe.
I mean, maybe he just doesn't want so many. It kind of just get a bit annoying if you're drawing like 10 cards. Like, well, no.
Yeah. So Laurie gets his ice down. That's actually one of the main things about successful field test for me, is not installing a bunch of remotes, it's just icing everything up, not having to pay install costs, and not having to spend clicks. So Laurie's looking at, you have to do this thing where you have to kind of arrange your ice, and it doesn't matter a ton, but you need to be careful. You have to decide if you want like 2 Fairchilds or Fairchild Architect, Fairchild Architect. Yep. So I think Laurie's got every piece of ice in his deck on the board now.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think there's one more.
There's
ice.
one more in the deck.
Yeah.
So with Jeeves on the table, I think Laurie is almost certain to biotic. Almost certain to biotic out of Vitruvius next turn.
Yeah.
If he wants to, and he probably does. It only costs him like 5 net. At that point, he can score for food from hand, or he's got another out, which is the Lakshmi play. I assume Lakshmi's on the table by now.
Yeah. That's the thing. That is the thing you have to be sort of careful of. Is if you biotic next turn, you need to make sure you can res enough ice to play the game. But if he has Lakshmi, even that's not such a huge worry.
So I think
there might be ice in archives. Yeah.
The big boy's saying, I think, right, that looking back, the failure to trash that known tech starter was a real disaster for Mike.
That's where you can.
Because there were certainly points where we were just sitting here thinking this might just crumble, and at the very least he's on 5 points, and worse, he could possibly have another turn of. We know it's an architect, so he could have got through once, and that's game.
Yeah, exactly. Or and the other thing that could maybe happen is the Jackson's still in the deck. Like he keyholes Jackson's away at some point, and that doesn't become an out for Laurie. But
with Friends makes that so much out.
Yeah, that's true. Friends is such a good card against Keyhole, because you just get back whatever they put in the bin.
Yeah, even the agenda, right, with Lakshmi on the table, just.
Yeah. You can even try and waste their time. It's very strong. Laura's just sitting around. Or he's just looking at his cards. So there's something behind an ice there. I guess that's most likely to be Lakshmi, right? Because that's kind of the must protect. So Mike draws up, takes some credits. He's doing the kind of the turn you do when you've almost certainly lost the game, where you like draw, credit, and just don't really do that much.
Yeah, I mean, look at the amount of resources Laurie generates on one of his turns relative to one of... Mike generates 2 credits, 2 cards.
Yeah.
And Laurie generates 10 credits.
Yeah.
This time with a Vitruvius counter, which he just installed naked, which is completely... I mean, you may well have Lakshmi.
It must be Lakshmi.
Well, actually, to be honest.
You could, but it's not something you want to give all game away on. Yeah, Big Boy's right. You want to keyhole operations if you don't hit anything else, probably. Yeah. Because then Friends doesn't just destroy you. So... That's
where the Fairchild came from, wasn't he? Friends it out of the keyhole run.
Exactly.
And now he's got Vitruvius counter, so the ice isn't even, the agenda isn't really in archives, he doesn't want it to be.
Yeah, also true. The Vitruvius counters do so much work in this deck. And obviously his ideal is he biotics, Vitruvius biotics.
I saw a play that I really enjoyed, sorry, talking about another game now, but where someone biotic with the G's on the table to 5 score Vitruvius because they were getting moored and they didn't want biotic in their hand. 2 counters lets them...
That's really clever, yeah. Yeah, that's a cute play. So... Yeah, so as someone points out in the chat, there is a lot to remember and a lot of triggers when playing this HB deck, which means that Mike's best out might be for Laurie to accidentally draw like 5 cards off a DBS or something.
Yeah, no, I said this, it was slightly harsh, but I said in Theo's game, because Theo's a slightly more chaotic player than Laurie, that actually was his biggest worry. And he did in fact get a warning. He got to a similar board state against Triss. Laurie isn't going to make that kind of mistake.
No.
I don't see it.
No, I think that, especially when you're playing at this level, you just be very, very careful.
So the win is on the table. The win is possible now. He can biotic Vitruvius, biotic, and maybe that's what he's going for given the res.
Yeah. Okay, so something's come down.
It's the win.
Oh, so he doesn't need the Vitruvius counter. Double biotic. Advance 5 times. There we are. So yeah, Laurie takes it.
Okay.
Looked
so
dicey in the early game, and he managed to bring it back with a friends and a tech startup.
we're out, I think.
Yeah, so thank you very much for watching, guys. We're going to sub out for some other commentators. Hopefully they're just as charming as we are. And
hard to believe that that's true, but yeah.
Have a lovely day, everybody.